YouTube, man, welcome to episode 1 of Beyond the Game podcast. All right, this podcast, if you haven't been tapped in beforehand with the promos, this podcast is for any athlete who's transitioning into the real world to be able to go work outside of being in their space of being in the athletic world. So, if you enjoy the content, make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe. And if you want to tap into the podcast, just drop a comment and say, "Let me on" or something. Let me know that you want to be on. If not, the Discord link will also be in the description as well. So if you want to join the community and be able to connect with other athletes who think just like you and going through the same troubles as you, go ahead and join the Discord so you can be able to get into that. But for right now, we got our guest. His name is Joseph Sayles. He's a former teammate, and with further ado, we're gonna go ahead and bring him on to the past. Joe, what's going on, man?
My guy was going.
What's going on? So tell the people who you are, man.
Man, my name's Joseph Sayles, former EKU free safety. Graduated with a bachelor's in sports management. Transitioned now to the real world. Newly licensed life insurance agent. So, just getting after it.
Yes, sir, my boy. Yes, sir. All right, so with the first question, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this right off the jump. With the other sports that you play, because you didn't play other sports for a very long time. Hey, but all right. So with the sports that you have played, how do you think gelling with those other athletes? How do you think that helps you transition into college into the football locker room?
Okay, you got to ask me that question again.
Oh fuck. With well, okay, how about this? From high school, how were you able to transition the locker room habits from the high school to college?
Uh, I'll say the transition was just obviously, when you get around older guys, especially coming in as a freshman in high school and um, going to college and being with those type of men and shit like that, like you kind of just go with the flow. You see what other guys are doing. You pick out the guys that doing right. In the classroom, off the field, on the field. You try to model things of that nature. Not necessarily just copy them, but when you're coming into college, like it's everybody's fighting for that same position. You know, there's only so many minutes in the game. So you got to really adapt quickly. You got to get to know the coaches. You got to get to know the players. You got to get to be a student in the classroom, and just overall just being around there in your first year. You learn a lot of different things, and you try to pick up habits from other guys and this that and the nature, and you just keep adapting. You just be a sponge.
What what would you say? What would you say would be the mental battle from being a incoming freshman to being a graduate senior in their final year? What are some of the challenges that you think, like as the course of those years, you know what I'm saying? Like what were the challenges that you faced that you have to realize, you know what I'm saying? Maybe something happened and it made you feel away, but it's like you realize, you know what I'm saying, you might have to push through it or you might have to go about it a different way.
Um, I mean, for me, I personally, so my story is a little bit different. I came in uh, like June of 2018. You know, um, I learned the whole playbook. I'm with the guys. You know, what I'm saying I'm in the rotation, this that, and the third. And obviously, like when you first go into school, you think like you're better than certain guys. You kind of start feeling like entitled to certain positions. Even if you may are be better than some of the others, but just how how it works is seniority, and you just people who's been at the program just has that they just have that upper hand on you. So with me, I personally had that certain situation to me, and I ended up leaving Eastern. So I ended up leaving Eastern December 2018, and I'm looking for a school. Like I'm about to go to West Georgia. I'm about to go to West Alabama. Like certain schools are offering me, and by the grace of God, uh, EKU ended up calling me back around like March of 2019, ended up giving me a full scholarship back on the back on the team. So I ended up going back up to school the start of June 1st of 2019. And basically, I'm like a new guy again. I got to earn the respect of the teammates that I left. I got to earn the respect of the new people coming in. I got to earn the respect of the coaches again. So with me battling that, just having my head down and knowing that, okay, I may be better than some of the others, but I got to put the reps in just like everybody else. I got to go to practice just like everybody else. I got to do the right things just like everybody else. Just over that time, you start to gain trust with the players, you start to gain trust with the coach, like the coaching staff, and in terms of just having that challenge and just like kind of being humble in the sense that you know, you may or may not be better, or it's not really your opinion. You know what I'm saying? You have to, continue to show the same effort on the day in and day basis. You have to have, a strong mindset. You know what I'm saying? So, like college football isn't for the weak. You got to, there's some certain situations that you got to just push through harder than, you know, every situation is different. You know what I'm saying? But, it has its mental battles and you have to just, you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. If you really want it enough, then, by the grace of God, you may get what you want.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that, you definitely align on pushing through hard times because I know there's a lot of incoming freshmen who's used to things being handed to them or things being put on the platter just because of the skill set or the athleticism. But it's like when you get in college, there's a bunch of guys who was just like you. When they was 18, they was just like you. Or the things that you was used to getting, they was getting the same thing. They probably was getting even more. It's
The,
it's it's different when you got to walk into an environment where things get rough and it's like you kind of don't know how the outcome's gonna play. But the only thing that you can control is you. And I think a lot of young athletes, especially if you was able to talk to like your younger self, a lot of young athletes will tell themselves that everything you do means something. You know what I'm saying? And everything all the way down to how many hours you sleep, how many times you eat, all that will catch up to you one day. Now it might not be very noticeable to you at the moment, so you may be able to coast by, but it's going to be a moment where there's somebody that does something that you don't. So in that moment, it's going to be able to showcase more. In the meanwhile of you trying to showcase what you can do. So now I
the,
definitely agree with that one. So what would you? How well actually yeah? How would you explain your thoughts in your happiest moments as an athlete? Let me say that. So even if you don't if you let's say that you were so happy to where you can be like I really don't remember what I was thinking. I just remember I was having a good time.
in terms of on the field,
Uh, just in general, in terms of college. So it could be on the field. It could be off the field. It could be just in terms of football or anything.
uh, I would say, I mean, those who know me, John, you know me, like I'm smiling 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm genuinely happy literally every single day. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of me just literally waking up, like in terms of me in college, like literally me waking up, you know, seeing the same guys I'm talking to every single day, building that relationship, just doing the same things with the same guys every single day. Like I'm naturally just happy. And knowing that like we're all competing for the same goal, day in and day out for 4 years straight. Like a lot of people really don't understand the type of bond that like you get with playing with, a certain amount of guys every single year, and then let alone like your own position group. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like me, like I'm naturally just happy. Like I'm always saying yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always dapping people up. Like I'm always, just helping out somebody because I'm literally just genuinely happy. Like, yes, there's been times in football, it's like, yeah, I've made game winning plays, or, I gotta help somebody else up, or somebody has to help me up. Like all those moments, like there's still happy moments. You know what I'm saying? I've had happy moments off the field with, some of my players, with some of the, other students, some of the other teachers, professors. Like I've had happy moments. And, I kind of generally just literally just wake up every single day and kind of just, suck it all in. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just, in every single moment, I like to be where my feet's at least for me. Like, and those who know me, like, I'm just naturally just generally happy. Like, I appreciate life.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That's one thing I will say about you, and that's actually something that I'm gonna go ahead and give you your flowers while we're right here. Actually, and I do want to tell you, like, you being a positive person and you always being so, you know what I'm saying, like, just so happy and not letting anything affect you. Not gonna lie, bro. You definitely are. You are an affection, not an affection person. My bad. You are the person that can affect a whole room just by smiling. Not gonna lie, or just by walking in. Cause just by walking in, somebody's already smiling. Like even when I be pissed off, I start smiling, shaking my head like Joe. Even if I have to tell you to leave me alone, it has to come in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Like,
So yeah, nah, I do want to say that's the best thing about you. Hey, and for all the athletes that's probably watching this, if I was y'all, I would pick that up
appreciate
from you,
it.
bro. Just smile, smile regardless. Nobody can take your smile away from you, bro. It don't matter what's going on. It don't matter who told you what or what you even was thinking about. Just remember that you still breathing, there's still life, and you can keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to say to you, Brian, gonna lie, I really pray that you hope that pray and hope that you keep that same type of mindset. Cause I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate it, my boy. I try.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
I
but
try.
just like Shannon Sharp told Ocho, just make sure you on time. You understand me? Make sure you on time. But
Yes,
nah,
that baby.
but nah.
Well,
All right, so next I'm gonna ask you. So what? How would you say? What was your player to coach relationship throughout your years of coaching? I mean, not years of coaching, but throughout your years of playing. Would you say that you was very close with your coaches? Do you feel like you should have gained a better relationship with some coaches so you could be able to be in a better spot outside of sports, or do you think that you played your cards right the best way that you could?
uh, I would say, um, I mean, other than the first coach I had, um, like when I left, and that's no shot to him. I think, like I said, it was probably just me not being humble at the moment. It's probably me trying, be entitled to certain situations and this, that, and the third. But piggybacking to what you said about, me just generally being happy, like even if I didn't like a coach, like, I just don't speak to him. You know what I'm saying? I still respect you. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of my position coaches, like I had a great relationship with my position coaches. At least I feel like. Well, I know we did. You know what I'm saying? Like we're inside the meeting rooms, just learning the playbooks. I'm asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking questions about his personal life. He's asking me about my personal life. So, just having that relationship with another man that actually feels the same way about you. And he knows the type of struggles that like you go through in college and things of that nature, like it makes the relationship a lot more stronger. But in terms of football wise, like I'm a big believer, like if you know your coach's thoughts, like you're almost gonna play. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big believer, like you know exactly what the coach wants and you tweak it to your own ability, like that's when the trust is there. That's when he starts putting you in practice. That's when he starts throwing you the game because like you know exactly what he's thinking. You know exactly what he wants. Like there should be no reason why you're not making plays. You know what I'm saying? You're doing exactly what he says to do. Now
That's that's
that's
exactly
not what
why.
players call just what's the term, like I don't know the term, but in terms of like people be like, oh, coach's favorite, or like you're always doing like what the coach says. It's just like why would I not do what the coach says? You know what I'm saying? And that's just a testament of you. Are you disciplined? Are you consistent? Are you doing the exact same thing every single day in and day in and day out, making plays? You know what I'm saying? So I'm a firm believer of if you know exactly like you have that player coach connection and like you know exactly what the coach is thinking in the playbook that he's installing, like there should be no reason why you don't make no plays.
That was just some. That's something that's huge, man. That you know, people like me, I wish I would have took that into account. I got on my own ways, but just being around the coach a lot, or just talking to him, being around his family, help with his kids, just do anything, and then you get to picking his brain on the scale of the respective sport that you could be playing. You know what I'm saying? It starts to build a gain of trust outside of physically doing something for the sport, literally, like. So with that being said, it'll start to gain the trust of like you said, you know what I'm saying? He'll throw you in there just because he knows he or she, you know what I'm saying, he or she knows that you know what I'm thinking, you know how I feel in a certain situation, so I expect you to be able to know how I want you to perform. You know what I'm saying? So now
Love that.
that is that is very much true, and I do want to say to any once again any young athletes, man, make sure that y'all stay a sponge, and be close to your coach. I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care if you don't even like his family. You never liked him in the first place. Hey, you don't have to like him to respect him. You feel me? Respect him or her. You know what I'm saying? Respect will take you a long way. As long as you respect the person, man, I'm telling you, they'll put you in the forefront. But, for sometimes it's not, you know, yeah, sometimes that's not the case, Some coaches are definitely very much on their own agenda and they go about their own things on however they only see fit. So, if you got a coach like that, we'll rather salute to you, you know what I'm saying? But if not, if you got a coach that's allowing you to be able to be the player that you want to become, I suggest you push yourself to be that player. You know what I'm saying? Push yourself to be that player until you just get so uncomfortable where you damn near fall out. I'm not gonna lie, because it's gonna get to a point to where if you don't do it, you're gonna be saying you wish you did. You feel me? So yeah. Uh, so what advice would you have to a player who is in their graduate senior year? It's crunch time. This is the upcoming final season. Outside of sports, talk to them about what should they do to be able to set themselves up for the next step in life.
Outside of sports, what should they do to set themselves up for the best? Um, I would say my thought process is a little bit differently when it comes to, you know, going to school and things of that nature. But if push comes to shove, I do always say go to school, get an education because knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? They cannot take nothing from you that you know. You know what I'm saying? They can't strip knowledge from you. You know what I'm saying? So get as smart as possible in whatever industry that you pursue. Um, guys like us, guys, men of color, it's a little bit harder for us. You know what I'm saying? We have to do a little bit more, to beat, the things that are against us. But nonetheless, like we still have to, live our lives. We have to, do what we have to do. We have to take care of our family. You know what I'm saying? So if you aren't pursuing sports, like I said, I would say go get an education and um, get as smart as you want as in any industry. But if you decide not to go the educational route and pursue college, the next best thing I would say is learn a trade, plumbing, electricians, um, um, barbers. You know what I'm saying? There's a shortage of that in the world. You know what I'm saying? So learn a trade. I feel like that would be the second best thing. The third best thing, I would say start a business. You know what I'm saying? It's very different. It's very uncomfortable. It's new. It's probably new to you. You probably don't know a lot about it. But I'm also a firm believer is you can't make $1 million with a salary. You know what I'm saying? The smartest people in the world know that the only way to make some money is to think smarter and help more people, not necessarily putting more hours on the clock.
And connect, connect with people,
Could it most def
connect with
network.
people. Every person you see,
Network.
if you if you in your last year or if you're in your last year playing and you're done the next year, you need to use this last year to do the things that you weren't doing the first 3 years. So if you weren't talking to people or you really weren't too social or anything like that, it is your best bet to go ahead and start doing that. Go ahead and start planting seed before the seed is able to sprout. You feel me? Because the quicker you do that, the better opportunities that you have. You know what I'm saying? Because people will work with you seeing that people will work better with you when they know that you're trying. You know what I'm saying? And if you're trying and you're still in their face every day and they're able to see what you do every day, it'll be quicker for them to make sure that you're okay when you're done. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what type of person you are. But if you wait till the last minute, like, you know what I'm saying? Things become a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying? And the weight on your shoulders may become a little bit more heavier. Some things become a little bit more draining and it make you start to feel like maybe I didn't do enough or maybe I could have did this, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to not have to go through those things. If I was you, while you have the chance, be able to connect to people, ask questions, talk to people, introduce yourself to people, learn how to do things that you never knew how to do while you can. Use your resources while you can, bro, because when them resources is gone, they're gone. I'm not gonna lie, they're gone. And everything's on you. So, yeah. But not to cut you off, my bad, but you can continue.
No, you're good. But yeah, basically, if you're like I said, go to school. If you're not going to school, learn a trade. If you're not learning a trade, start a business, and just ultimately just get some money. You know what I'm saying? Whatever way you try to do it legally, just get some money because just the way this world's going, like things are getting very expensive. You know, you gotta handle your own. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care how you have to do it, one job, two job, just get some money, stack it, get out the way, learn how to invest, learn about, ways you can grow the money. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste it. If you're guys, don't focus on females. You know what I'm saying? You got to be focused, especially in your 20s. A lot of people don't get it right until they're 30, and it's not too late. But if I have a 10-year head start on somebody, I would like to think that I used it wisely. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got.
Nah, facts. I agree with that 100%. 100%. All right, so describe your transition from your last game to your first job outside of being a student.
Um, I had a couple jobs after, I left, but my last game, uh, Sam Houston, I forgot what day it was, October 14th, 16th, 15th of 2023. We all know the story, 46 seconds left. They throw over out, I break on it, make a PBU, and I tear my ankle. End up, you know, was trying to play the last was trying to play last couple games, wasn't going. I fully tore my ankle. Deltoid tear, um, anterior, and I think probably calcaneus was all in the injury. I think I could be wrong. I think it was two. It was tightrope surgery. Uh, so basically, that was my last game. That was like what game 5. I was out for the rest of the season, and haven't played football since. Well, I haven't played football since, but the transition, it's hard. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And like to piggyback off what you said, like use your resources. You know what I'm saying? Because like when we were at school, like we're getting breakfast check. You know what I'm saying? We got study mentors. Like we're on a strict schedule, and like when you get out of that, like when you get out of that setting, and like you're on, like you got to make your own schedule. You know what I'm saying? You got to feed yourself every single day. You got to eat healthy every single.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta. You know what I'm saying? You. It's life. At the end of the day, like it's life, and nobody's gonna save you. You know what I'm saying? You have to save yourself. And at least my transition, like I had a couple jobs after I had I had left school. I was I done Ubered. I done worked at Papa John's. I done worked at Panera. Now I'm at something solid. Like I said, I'm a life insurance agent now, and trying to build my wealth like that right now. But like this is almost 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played. I've stopped playing football in 2023. The rest of 2023, all of 2024, like I wasn't necessarily say I wasn't working. I didn't have a stable job. Like some people may get some salary jobs after college, and this that in nature. And I do have a I do have a degree. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, like it's a supply and demand. Like everybody's getting degrees now. And jobs aren't hiring based off degrees; they're hiring based off experience and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So just that transition and knowing that he was on such a strict schedule. You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily saying you having handouts, but you have so much resources at your disposal. And literally, once you graduate, it's not there no more. You know what I'm saying? You have
And
to go.
it's like that's when you need it the most. That's the
You,
crazy
you,
part
you
about it. Like you need it the
know what I'm saying?
most.
Like you're going right into the real world. You got it. Like players like us, we were on full scholarship. Other players that at bigger schools or whatever, like they're getting money. They're getting cost of attendance. You know what I'm saying? We was getting that when we was in school. You know what I'm saying? That last paycheck hit April 28th. You know what I'm saying? Paying for March. Like sometimes you're like you end up leaving school like your last bill not until July or August, like whenever you sign that lease. So you gotta start working out. You gotta start working, to start paying the bills before you're gonna get evicted. Like I did.
And it happens
You
like
feel me?
that. Like that. Like right
You
now.
feel
Like
me?
you gotta start right now.
Feel me? The shit like excuse my language, but it happens quick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta and that's like the adjustment. Like you gotta start making decisions fast and you gotta start making smart decisions. And like you have to start making wise decisions because a lot of decisions not necessarily affect you, but like the people around you, if you're in a relationship and this that, and the third. So I would say just don't take as long as I did making a good transition into a good career. Like start finding ways to get some money now. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to find like to land up on insurance. Like the people that help me right now to pave a way for some financial freedom. But like I said, don't wait to to land up on an opportunity. Like start learning now, get on YouTube, like start reading some books, network, you know what I'm saying? Get around people who you want to be alike and you'll eventually
Use
get there.
use the internet to your advantage.
Use
Like
it to your advantage.
when
Use it
people
to
say
your
network, don't look at network being so bland of a word or looking at it through a vague scope. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself through one thing thinking network just means, oh, I gotta talk to people. Nah, like network mean, yeah, talk to people, connect with people, but also use the network. Literally. Use the internet. Use the internet to your exposure. Instead of sitting there scrolling and playing, scroll and find somebody that can help you in a way that you need help. You know what I'm saying? Use the things that you can for the things that you need. Because I'm telling you, as soon as it gets taken away, the things that you probably thought wasn't that important when somebody told you to do it, as soon as it gets taken away, you can't even do it even when you want to or something like that. Or if you tell somebody, oh, I'll do it when I gotta do it. All right, well, now that chance is gone. So the only person you can look at is yourself. And something that I've noticed throughout my transition from sports into the real world is that it's a lot of what ifs that creep into your mind. Like it's like, what if I did this, or what if I did that, or what if this would have happened if I would have did that? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of what ifs that'll go through your mind, and that's something that'll mentally drain you and pull you down to a dark space. Especially when you don't have the structure that you had, you don't have the resources that you had. Sometimes you don't have the motivation that you had, and for some people, without sports, you don't have the same confidence because you're not used to walking around just being a normal human being. Like when you're outside, when you're away from sports, and you get into the workforce. The work field. Everybody looks at each other as the same because we are all the same. We all do the same thing. That's why we're here. So regardless of what you did before that, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Like this is your boss talking. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Can you do this for me? Yes or no? Can you do X, Y, Z for me? Because I don't need L N M or L M and N, whatever the fuck. I need X, Y, Z. Can you do that? Yes or no? Because I got 30,000 other people that got an application in, but I decided to choose you. Compared to sports, you have chances to improve yourself. You have chances to replace a past performance, or you have chances to go ahead and fix whatever your own mental self, whatever you told yourself you got to fix. You have a chance to fix it. In the workforce, life is not like that. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like in some jobs, if you mess up, as soon as you mess up, you gone. You don't even get a chance to fix it. Gone. So yeah, nah, definitely big on the network part, man. Uh, so let's talk about what do you do mentally for yourself to be able to help yourself not dwell on the past in terms of being an athlete throughout your journey of finding jobs or going through different jobs. how do you tell yourself to be able to keep going, or do you think that the competitive nature from you being an athlete, do you think that helps you in the workforce?
Um, well, I'm in sales. You know what I'm saying? I'm in insurance sales, and I'm on a commission base only. So my competitive nature necessarily has to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not competitive, then I'm not going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So, but most definitely, like being in football and the type of, I won't say, not to brag, but I was a 4 year starter. So I was competing with the best players on the team day in and day out. And just trying to, just one up everybody. Not to say that nobody was better than me or things of that nature. It was just I wanted the best for myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's a dog eat dog world. We all trying to play. At the time we were all trying to get to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to our conversations. What I was saying before that, like, if you really want it, like, you gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to learn that playbook, you gonna learn that playbook. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play, you want to play. And transitioning from like the outside world, like it's almost necessarily harder. Like you have to build yourself up to be somebody who makes 5, 10, 15, $20,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? People just don't make 10, 15, $20,000 a month not being competitive with themselves and not always being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You have to be uncomfortable. You have to go through the hard stages. And like I kind of treat like my job and just like outside work like football. You know what I'm saying? I'm always competitive with myself. I treat like when I'm going hard in sales, like I'm thinking like it's August and we're about to start fall camp for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the process of I'm in the process of, learning my tests and I'm treating that like I'm learning the playbook. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying it, a couple hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So if you want it, like I said, if you want it, like, you have to be competitive with yourself. You have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? You have to have goals. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the person you want to be, essentially. And the only way you're going to become better, the only way you're going to be a better version of yourself is by competing with yourself and not having days. Well, you can have days that like you're sluggish, but you can't have no more than one day of having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it 2 days in a row and expect, good things to happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to pray. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep God first. And then second to keeping God first, you got to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to work and you got to outwork yourself. You got to outwork yourself. You got to outwork others. But as long as you outworking yourself and you're always getting better, like you're always going to put yourself in a better position. You know what I'm saying? So if you constantly just beating your own standards and you constantly raising your bar, like only good things should happen from there.
Nah, facts. That's a definite fact, man. You definitely got to compete with yourself. Cause competing with yourself, man, low key, that's the best thing that you can do. Cause if you compare yourself to other people, man, comparison is a thief of joy. Um, and looking at other people, man, you weren't born like them. God didn't give you the same path as them, and He might not have the same thing for you. I mean, same thing for you as He does for them. So therefore, you can't. Don't. It's not necessarily trying to outwork the next person. If we're really being honest, something that I kind of learned. Like, it's not even about outworking the next guy. Outwork yourself. Uh, because if you continuously win your own mental battles, nobody in front of you, behind you, or next to you can throw you off your track. It's straight like that. Because nobody can tell you anything different. And that goes all the way back to your mindset, because regardless of what anybody's talking about or what anybody says, you're going to smile regardless. I don't care. And if somebody even does that, it's like, did you not hear what he said, or did you not? No, I heard it. It's just like, okay, I'm still gonna come. I'm still gonna come in here tomorrow, and I'm still gonna do the same thing. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying. He's gonna have to accept it. He's gonna have to accept it because that's who I am. But I did listen to what he said. I did acknowledge what he said. But at the same time, I'm not gonna let that affect me. I'm not gonna let that make me dwell on anything. I'm not gonna make that start making myself belittle myself in the terms of my ability or in the terms of my passion for the game. You know what I'm saying? So Nah, that's definitely big on that one. I ain't gonna lie, I really like that one like that. I mean, I really like that one for sure. But
Okay.
yeah, man, that was it right there, brother. That was it right there. You got any questions you want to ask me?
Um, your player to real world transition. Like, how hard was it for you? How was you know, like you said, being one of the star players on the team and things of that nature to being that same guy inside of a workforce. We're all dressed the same, suit, tie, dress shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was your transition?
To be honest, the transition it was definitely hard. I say for the first couple months, couple being a literal two, probably was the hardest because that was me making my decision on if I wanted to continue playing or not. Like if I even wanted to even try to go, you know what I'm saying, do any pro day or do anything like that. And I'll be honest, looking back at it, I kind of feel like I made a wrong decision because I was listening to my mind and my emotions a little bit too much. I think I think what made the transition even more harder though was that only the simple reason why. I mean, yeah, only the simple reason why is because I feel as though I didn't end it out giving myself a chance. Like regardless if I ain't want to play or not, like just going through pro day and just going through talking to the NFL scouts. Why not? Just for the experience. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even matter. Like knowing I ain't want to play or nothing. Like it just for the experience to be able to say I completely did everything that the little kid me wanted to do. Let's say that. Um,
Mhm.
After that, I ended up getting in a car wreck, a fatal car wreck almost. At that, that also kind of threw me for a loop because I had just started getting my first coaching job. I probably was coaching for like 2.5 months to 3 months, maybe. Not even maybe yet, like 3 months almost. And then that happened, so I wasn't really able to go to work. I was stuck in the room. Couldn't really go nowhere. I was injured as well, so I couldn't really do anything. And that right there was my time to think, and that was my time to be able to see what direction do I want to go into. You know what I'm saying? And the direction that I want to go into, which I know I do, is I want to coach. I still want to be around the game. I just didn't want to be a player in it. So yeah, man. After that transition, after that transition of not having a car and stuff like that, I just had to get back in the mindset of being a competitor again. Like nothing can stop me. Without even having a car, without even really being able to move, I still found a way to get a job, and I still found a way to take my black ass to work. You know what I'm saying? And I really do want to say though, is due to being an athlete, honestly, because when it comes to fighting a mental battle, all them coaches that yell at you through workouts and all that stuff, like that stuff actually does carry on. I'm not gonna lie, cause the moment you feel like you can't do something, or the moment you feel like you don't want to do something, somehow, some way, your mind and your body follows for you to go do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's really because you're used to pushing through hard for so long. For so long, it's a different scenario now. It's not really weights. It's not really the coach. It's literally you in life. Literally, like it's do it or don't do it. But if you don't do it, you're gonna just continue to sink lower and lower and lower and lower. So yeah, man. But the transition is definitely getting smoother because I'm definitely starting to be able to identify myself and be able to know what I actually want to do, so I can be able to put my best foot forward to be able to do it. I ain't gonna lie, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, man. That's all you got right there.
Sound good, my guy. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir,
I
man. I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you as well. Now,
Yes, sir.
uh, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for coming. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to be able to come back and see more content. This is episode 1. We got another episode after that, and then depending on how y'all show activities with these videos, that'll depend on if y'all get these next episodes or not. You understand me? But I appreciate y'all coming to see Beyond the Game, the podcast. Be sure to be tuned to see the Beyond the Game, the book, which is coming very soon. You know what I'm saying? The book is definitely going to be created by me, and I hope that you be able to get the information that you need and be able to carry that information on. But with that, we're going to keep that on us. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for coming. Peace out. You understand me?